I suspected my husband was hiding money, so I protected myself before he could leave me with nothing. True story. Hello, everyone. Before we dive in, if you're new here or haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button. It really helps small channels like ours grow and keeps these real-life stories coming. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it. Hi, I'm Sarah. Name changed, obviously. For years, I thought I had the kind of marriage people envy. My husband, let's call him Alex, and I had been together 7 years, married for 5. We had that easy rhythm, silly nicknames, late-night talks about nothing and everything, surprise coffee runs just because. I planned weekend getaways. He fixed things around the house without me asking. It felt safe, like we'd cracked the code. Then about 8 months ago, something shifted. Not dramatically at first, just little cracks I couldn't ignore. He started guarding his phone like it held state secrets. Before, he'd leave it face up on the counter while showering, no big deal. Suddenly, it was always flipped over or in his pocket, even when he was just grabbing water from the fridge. I teased him once. "What, are you texting the president now?" He laughed it off, said, "Work stress, babe," but the smile didn't reach his eyes. Then came the hushed calls. He'd step onto the balcony or into the garage, door closed. If I asked who it was always a buddy from the office or client stuff. Vague. Too vague. He grew distant in conversations, too. I'd mention something fun, maybe a trip for our anniversary, and he'd just mumble, "Sounds good," and change the topic to bills or groceries. Intimacy faded. Not just physical, emotional. He'd stare at his screen instead of looking at me when we talked. I felt like I was living with a polite roommate. One evening I came home early from a work thing. He was in the living room on a call. I didn't mean to listen, but his voice carried. "Yeah, it's almost sorted. New chapter starting soon. Just need to wrap this up quietly." My heart dropped. It didn't sound like work. It sounded personal, planned. When he hung up, I asked casually how his day was. He launched into a story about grabbing drinks with the guys and some drama one friend was having. The details were too perfect, rehearsed. I smiled, nodded, but inside, alarm bells. A week later, he brought up something weird. We were eating dinner and he said out of nowhere, "We should probably combine more of our accounts, right? Passwords, logins, everything in one place, just in case something happens to one of us." I blinked. We'd always kept finances mostly separate. His investments, my savings, joint for bills. It worked. "Why now?" I asked lightly. He shrugged. "Adulting, emergencies, you never know." It sounded reasonable, but the timing felt off, like he was fishing. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything. The phone, the calls, the overheard words, the sudden interest in our money. My gut screamed that something was wrong. I wasn't paranoid. I was paying attention. The next day while he was at work, I checked our joint account. Small transfers had been going out. Nothing huge, but consistent. Cash withdrawals, transfers to unknown accounts. Not bills, not groceries, no explanation. Part of me wanted to confront him right then. But another part, the smarter part, said, "Wait. If I was wrong, I'd look crazy. If I was right, I needed to protect myself first." I called my older sister. She's a paralegal. I didn't spill everything. Just said I was worried about financial stuff and wanted to know my options. She didn't judge. She explained basics. Separate what you can quietly. Document everything. Consider trusts or transfers if things felt unsafe. Better safe than sorry, sis. That conversation shook me. The idea of moving money behind his back felt wrong, but staying vulnerable felt worse. I pictured our wedding vows, our first apartment, all the dreams we'd whispered. How had it come to protecting myself from the man I loved? Over the next few days while he was working late, I acted. I moved most of my personal savings, investments, and my share of our down payment fund into a trust under my mom's name. She's retired, trustworthy, and lives out of state. The house title had always been in both names, but I got advice on how to secure my equity interest legally. I left enough in the joint account to look normal. Bills, groceries, everyday stuff. Nothing flashy. Nothing he could point to as suspicious. It hurt. Every click felt like admitting our marriage was dying. But I kept thinking, if he's planning to leave and take everything, I won't be the one left broke and begging. 2 weeks after I finished securing things, he sat me down. We need to talk. His voice was calm, too calm. I think we should separate. Divorce. No yelling, no tears, just flat. Like he'd rehearsed it. He said he felt trapped, needed space to find himself, that he'd sacrificed a lot and deserved happiness. Then the kicker. You've never really appreciated what I've given up for us. I sat there stunned. Sacrificed? I'd supported him through 2 job changes, moved cities for his career, handled most of the emotional labor. I'd cheered him on, compromised, loved him even when it was hard. And now I was the villain? He kept going. Mentioned a friend who'd helped him see things clearly. A friend. Right. I didn't beg. I didn't cry in front of him. I just nodded slowly and said, "Okay, if that's what you want, we should handle it properly." He looked surprised, maybe expected drama, but my mind was already elsewhere. The next week, divorce papers arrived. His demands were aggressive. Half the house, even though I'd brought more to the down payment. My investments, alimony, despite him earning more. The nicer car. It was greedy. Calculated. That's when I started connecting dots. Found a woman, let's call her Lauren, who liked every post of his, commented hearts and "you got this" on vague life update pics. Same woman tagged in a coffee shop photo the same week I'd overheard that call. Coincidence? Maybe, but my gut said no. A mutual friend, someone neutral, later confirmed he'd been confiding in her for months. She was feeding him ideas. You deserve better. Don't let her take advantage. Protect your future. She was positioning herself as the upgrade. I didn't confront him about her. I waited. Mediation day came. His lawyer strutted in with a huge file, listing demands like it was a done deal. My attorney, quiet, sharp woman, slid over a folder. "Before we go further, you should see these." His lawyer flipped through. His face changed. Transfers, dates, notarized docs. Everything moved to an irrevocable trust weeks before he filed. All done. The room went dead silent. His lawyer stammered. "This was done prior?" My attorney, "Correct. Well before any filing. Irrevocable. Nothing to contest." Alex stared at me, face red. "You did this on purpose. You knew." I met his eyes calmly. "I protected myself. That's all." He exploded. Accused me of betrayal, of being sneaky, of ruining him. His lawyer tried to calm him. No leverage left. After that, he spiraled. Texts, voicemails, first pleading, "We can fix this." Then rage, "You're heartless." Then bargaining, "Just give me half, please." I saved everything, didn't reply. Then came the smear campaign. Mutual friends heard I was controlling, that I'd hidden money to punish him. Some believed it at first, until screenshots leaked from a friend of a friend who got tired of his bragging to Lauren about getting what he deserved. Messages planning how to make me feel guilty so I'd cave. Once those spread, his story collapsed. Friends distanced. Even his sister called me to apologize for believing him initially. Lauren ghosted him the moment she realized no big payout was coming. The divorce finalized quickly after that. I kept the house, my savings, my peace. He walked away with his personal stuff and a lesson. My mom helped me repaint, rearrange, make the space mine again. For the first time in months, I slept without that knot in my chest. I'm not proud of having to play defense in my own marriage, but I'm proud I listened to my instincts. I didn't let someone rewrite our story to make me the bad guy. Sometimes love ends, sometimes it ends ugly, but you don't have to let it destroy you. Thanks for listening. If this resonated, drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More real stories coming. Take care of yourselves out there.